Deadlifts. A lot of people ask me about deadlifts. You see athletes that can deadlift 600, 700 pounds. You see that they have great bodies and they can do pretty much anything they want with their body. So you ask yourself, should I be deadlifting? That's a really good question. A lot of people ask me that, and I have an answer for you. It's nuanced. We're going to be talking about the benefits and drawbacks of deadlifts, and you can decide for yourself whether you should be deadlifting. Let's talk about the benefits first. Now, a deadlift is essentially what's called a compound movement. And what a compound movement is an exercise that involves your whole body, or at least more than one muscle group. And that's exactly what a deadlift does. When you pick up a bar, you're starting off by engaging your rhomboids and your traps. It's the top of your shoulders and your back of your shoulders. You're also using your rectus spinae, which is your posterior chain, which helps stabilize your spine. As you start to lift the bar off the ground, you're going to engage your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, your calves, and your feet. So as you can imagine, you're pretty much using your whole body when you're doing a deadlift. And that's a great thing. You want to use as much muscle as you can when you're working out, because that creates an effective and efficient workout. The other benefit is that when you start to lift heavy, well, you start to get a little bit of an aesthetic appeal. You start to look a little stronger, your muscles grow, and people tend to like that. Let's go ahead and talk about the drawbacks now. So, as I mentioned before, deadlifts are great if you're trying to build mass, if you're trying to build explosive power. It's great, as I said, for athletes. However, we're not all athletes, and we do other things outside of that. We don't have enough time to lift 3, 4, 5 hours a day like athletes. Most of the time when we're doing deadlifts, we might have 3 or 4 other exercises outside of that, and then we have to go on out about our day. But what that means is that you're not going to be strong laterally. You're not going to be able to move laterally the same way. You're going to be able to move forward and back. And what that means is that your body is going to develop compensations. What happens for most people is when they deadlift, they tend to add more weights onto the rack. They add more weights onto the bar, and their body adapts, essentially changing their entire physiology so their body can adapt to the fact that they're lifting heavy weights. Because as you know, the body is not essentially made to lift heavy weights. So what the body does is it adapts so that your body can do the things that you want it to do. So you're going to open yourself up for injury if you're lifting heavy weights and you're not doing anything outside of those deadlifts, or you're doing only 3 or 4 exercises. Here's some exercises that I think that would be very beneficial for you if you're doing only deadlifts, or you can add this to your repertoire, I should say. Lateral lunges are a great exercise. You can do those with weights or without weights that help you strengthen your gluteus minimus and your gluteus medius, as well as your gracilis, also known as your inner thigh. You can also do plyometrics. Plyometrics are a great way to build your explosiveness, similar to a deadlift. However, obviously, you don't use weights, and you can do it in multiple directions. You can jump sideways, you can jump forward, jump backward. It's great for helping you with that change of direction. Finally, you can just do a side shuffle. Side shuffling just helps you improve your foot speed and helps you obviously move side to side. So if you're only deadlifting, I highly suggest that you add those exercises into your repertoire, and I guarantee you'll help prevent injury. So hopefully that answers all your questions and you've learned something more about deadlifts today. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. Feel free to also subscribe to our channel. I would really appreciate it, because that would mean that you will be notified when we answer your questions next week about health and fitness. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, keep good company.
That's awesome!